Let's talk about being recruitable, being employable, being someone that every company is willing to hire because you've set the foundation accordingly. I'm doing a thread of videos on my main channel, It Starts With You Network with Les, where it's a series of lectures at the University of Johannesburg on human resource management. So regardless of the industry, regardless of the course you're doing, regardless of the modules you're studying, regardless of the future hopes that you have for the future, even if it's to open a business or anything of the sort, it's important to actually seek out the basic fundamentals into how you introduce yourself into the job market. Well, let's talk a bit of stats. There's a high unemployment rate in the country, and 61% of those is youth unemployment. When you talk about graduates, that's a really high number considering the fact that a lot of people go into institutions of higher learning thinking that it's the doorway to actually getting employment immediately when they leave home. A lot of people, it's the first time in their family that someone actually graduates any type of course in university, and therefore they become the automatic breadwinner. But if you are not ready to be hired and enter the workplace accordingly, then being a breadwinner can take up to 5 years before you actually support your family financially. So some of the things that you need to consider is how you get to stand out from the crowd. Consider this. There are over 25 universities in the country. Think about whether the course that you're doing is being done in all of those institutions. If so, think about or look at the number of people in your class that are actually studying with you that particular course. Think about the number of people that graduated with you if you've already graduated just in your institution and multiply it by 25. That gives you the number of people you are competing with just in the year in which you graduated. What about the entire country, the entire nation? What makes you special? What makes you stand out so that you can differentiate yourself from the others? What makes an employer pause when they look at your CV or resume? What makes an employer think about actually hunting you down or head hunting you so that you join their organization because they see the amount of value that you're already adding at the level that you are at? Think about what involvement do you have in the institution that you are studying in the community in which you are living and staying in your social circles. What value do people see when they look at you? It's not only about the qualification. One of the debates that we keep on having with students is about if a person is a cum laude student, right? Meaning they get distinctions or they perform at a distinction level throughout the course, and then compared to someone who isn't a cum laude student but is able to critically think, has the interpersonal skills, has the ability to challenge the status quo, has a social standing, has a community building initiatives that they've started, work with NPOs and businesses out there. Then you take the two. This is an instance where the cum laude hasn't done all those extra stuff. They just focused on the curriculum and they did well. But when you take the two, I would want the individual that actually has that vast experience that they've gained in their tenure while they were studying. I would want that person because I know that bringing them in, the initiative goes beyond being book smart. Organizations need you to consider being street smart. Organization needs you to stand out so that you will add the value that will allow their organization, institution, or business to stand out against other institutions. So what value are you creating so that you are employable? Do you understand how the recruitment process works? Recruitment is where you apply with all the other people. And then selection is a process in which they actually select you. So when a company advertises, they are selling themselves to you. They are on a recruitment run. But once you apply, then your CV, your resume, your experience, your skills, and your background have to sell you to that potential employer. You then have to stand out from the thick pile of applicants that the employer finds themselves sieving through. So what are you doing to stand out? Who are you networking with? Who are you building with? Who are you aiming to actually succeed with? Who are you wanting to add value to? Who are you lifting as you're rising with? Those are things to consider because you need to stand out. clean up your social media. Become employable by cleaning up your social media. It's social, and yet because potential employers have access to your social media, then you need to ensure that even what you present on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Snapchat, any of those platforms, including here on YouTube, you need to make sure that what you present sells you. Get on these platforms to actually sell yourself. Show people what value you are adding as you are unemployed. Show people that you aren't afraid to sell. To stand at a street corner with a placard that says that I'm a graduate, but this is what I'm selling. This is the value I'm adding to you as you are passing by these robots, right? Add that particular value. This is just an intro, guys. Let's get people as employable as possible, because one avenue is business, but business is hard, and business needs skilled individuals, needs thinkers, needs innovators, needs people who will initiate things for them. So let's build. It starts with you. I love you and I appreciate you. See you on the next one. Cheers.